There are seasons in life that do not feel like beginnings or endings. They feel like suspension, like standing between two versions of yourself, while belonging fully to neither. Your old life no longer fits. The conversations feel different. The routines feel heavier. The things that once distracted you do not hold you the same way anymore. And yet, the new life has not fully arrived either. So you exist somewhere in between. And this space can feel deeply uncomfortable, because from the outside, it may look like nothing is happening. But internally, everything is changing. No one really speaks about this part. The part where your soul begins asking for more, before your mind fully believes you can reach it. The part where you outgrow your old identity, before your new one feels stable. The part where you are no longer who you were, but not yet who you are becoming. And sometimes this space can feel lonely, not because you are failing, but because transformation often asks you to release certainty before clarity arrives. Maybe this is why the in-between space feels so heavy, because something inside you already knows you cannot go back, while another part of you is still afraid to move forward. So you sit between two worlds, one that no longer fits, and one you cannot fully see yet. But maybe the space is not a punishment. Maybe it is preparation. Maybe life is slowly removing what can no longer carry the version of you trying to emerge. Maybe this confusion is reconstruction. Maybe this uncertainty is transformation happening quietly. Some spaces feel empty only because your old life has left, before the new one has fully arrived. And maybe the in-between space was never meant to be understood immediately. Maybe it was meant to change you slowly, because there are some versions of yourself you cannot meet while holding on to everything familiar. So life begins removing the old, the patterns, the distractions, the identities, the places your soul has already outgrown. And for a while, it feels like nothing fits anymore. But maybe that feeling is not failure. Maybe it is evidence that something inside you has finally started evolving. Because people often speak about transformation as if it feels inspiring, but real transformation often begins with disorientation, with silence, with endings, with not knowing who you are for a little while. That is why this season feels so strange. Because a part of you is already reaching toward a new life, while another part is still grieving the old one. But listen carefully. Just because a chapter feels unclear does not mean it is wrong. Some of the most important seasons of our lives look confusing while we are inside them. Not because nothing is happening, but because everything is. You are learning how to become someone new without abandoning yourself in the process. You are learning how to trust your inner voice more than external timelines. You are learning that growth is not always loud. Sometimes growth looks like quietly refusing to return to who you used to be. So if life feels unfamiliar right now, maybe that is not a sign that you are lost. Maybe it is a sign that your soul has finally outgrown what once contained it. And one day, the life that currently feels distant may become the life you were slowly walking toward this entire time.